What's up, Seekers? Wanugee with GoldenDragonFortunes, your K-Rap Psychic. And I'm here once again with my friend, Hermione Grinder.
Herb Grinder here.
Herb Grinder. I really can't call you Herb Grinder, yeah, but why not Hermione Ganja, huh? Herb Grinder? Yeah, with this hair, you could be like...
No, well, you know, it's a play on her last name, Granger.
I know.
And Grinder, so, you know.
I know, but I kind of like this Rastafarian ganja thing. You know, roots, rock, reggae, you know. Where's Bob Marley when you need him? Anyway.
He's in my purse.
Anyway, so what we're going to do here today, we're going to do something different. And this is going to be about actually a relationship. You know, most of these videos we're going to be doing, seeing what's a love life of an idol. But in this case, I think we know that a relationship already exists. So we're going to kind of take a look at it. And so we're going to take a look at the relationship between Kang Daniel and with Park Jihyo. So Kang Daniel used to be with the group, now he's kind of on his own and doing his thing. Very popular idol. And Park Jihyo is with probably the one of the top 3 girl groups in K-pop, and that's Twice. In fact, they're probably number 2. Not because they're Twice, but because they're probably Blackpink and Twice. They're very close. Anyway, so they're kind of having, they're confirmed that they're dating. So we thought we'd take a look at their relationship, right?
Yeah, see where it's going.
And so we're going to use one of my favorite tarot decks. We're going to use the Voyager deck, the Voyager Tarot, and it looks like this. And it looks like it's supposed to look like DNA on the back. That's what we're going to use for kind of seeing, well, I think we'll do three things. We'll kind of see what the relationship's doing.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
All right, so you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys ready? You Once? This is the fan name for Twice.
Oh.
They're called Once. I don't know why, but no, I think I know why. Because JYP, the head of the group, head of the agency, he said, you're gonna like them because of their attractiveness, but you're gonna like them twice because of their talent.
Oh,
I think that's what it's Twice.
Very clever.
But their fandom's called Once. Anyway, so let's go. So we're going to pick some cards. I think we're going to do similar format. I'm going to pick 4 cards. 2 with my left hand, 2 with my right hand.
Okay.
And you're going to pick 4 cards. Okay, so we got these cards. We're going to kind of look at the relationship between Kang Daniel, and Park Jihyo. And we're going to start from the center again and kind of go outwards and see what the cards say, okay?
Okay.
All right, so why don't we both pick one of these cards? So I'll pick this one, you pick that one. And let's see what they say. Okay, let's look at this one. So the cards are the 10 of Wands. So Wands is kind of a spiritual card, a deck, spiritual suit. This is the 10 of Wands. And it's called Growth. And this one here is the 10 of Crystals, and interesting enough, it's called Delusion. So is it growth? Is it delusion? What's going on here?
Oh.
Wow, that's pretty heavy here. So Delulu and growth. So the 10 of Wands, growth. So growth, this represents growth, and the imagery is about growth. It's about getting roots. So perhaps they're just trying to get rooted into their relationship, Daniel and Jihyo, and trying to grow and make that relationship grow. And there's a lot of hope about new expansion, new growth, new awareness, but still kind of staying rooted in what they know as well. So that's what I seem to say. And on the other one, the 10 of Crystals, this one has some delusional kind of aspects to it, and I think this is partly maybe a reference to not just them but also you guys in K-pop land that maybe are a little bit delusional about what might happen, or maybe jumping ahead of the gun and trying to moving forward and making all these speculations. So maybe you're a little delulu, as the phrase goes, but they're not. They're kind of trying to stay grounded and stay kind of avoid the delusion and avoid all the paparazzi and all those things that manufacture all these things. When celebrities date, first you want to know if they're dating, and then you want to know the details, right? Then you want to know if there's
All
problems,
in the business.
right? Yeah, and, you know, so you hope that they go up together, and you're excited about them, but then kind of also, you know, when they start coming down, you start tearing them down real fast too.
True.
So I think this is a lot of these things that they're kind of trying to not get involved with the delusion of the situation because they're both K-pop idols. You know, and they call it a scandal. I don't know why they call it a dating scandal. I mean, they're just dating.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
What's wrong with dating?
No big deal with
I
that.
mean, would you want to be called a scandal if you're dating somebody? No. So I think they're trying to avoid the delulu and trying to grow and expand as best they can in their given situations. So I think that's what it means. What do you
Sounds
think?
good to me.
Yeah. All right. Hey, you heard it from Herb Grinder here.
I'm the expert.
So let's look at the next card.
Okay.
Okay, so we got the Fool Child, the 0 card, which is a major arcana card, and this one is called the 8 of Crystals, Synthesis. So the Fool Child, you know, I think this represents, it's kind of a duality, and it represents the trust and the kind of the wonder and the kind of the expansion, exploration of the child. Just going out there, learning to learn the world, and they're kind of in that stage with their relationship of just trying to grow and, you know,
The honeymoon phase.
yeah, the honeymoon phase, trust each other and just kind of fall into that feeling of it all, right? And just going where it goes. But you know, there's also the fool part of this, which is that, you know, if they're not careful, and I think particularly in this situation, since they're both idols, that, you know, they can't just be careless about it. They have to kind of be measured about how they can meet and where they meet, because everybody wants to know where they are. And so there's going to be people chasing them around. So they want to have that kind of keep that feeling of lightness and exploration and love.
Yep.
But the reality is they have to kind of hide what they do and not be fooled by, you know, trickery or things.
Have some type of secrecy.
Yeah, they have to have some secrecy and not be fooled into, you know, being careless, because otherwise it's going to just create more of a problem for them. And then this, you agree with that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay. The 8 of Crystals represents synthesis. And so it seems to say that, you know, this is kind of more of a mental card. And they kind of synthesize maybe, you know, the feelings that they have and how they, you know, feel with each other emotionally, but with all the mental things that they have to figure out of how do they actually see each other, work out the schedules, you know, how do they make that work?
Exactly.
You know, how do we meet? How do we rendezvous? You know, where's the paparazzi? All these things. So they're trying to find ways to synthesize the reality of their situation and all the attention with, you know, the feeling that they have for each other and trying to make that work. So, you know, unfortunately, you know, it kind of takes away a little bit of the falling in love with love and just going with the flow, because they can't. They're kind of trapped.
Has to be a little more calculated.
Yeah, so it's kind of calculated. Yeah, it's kind of more mental energy. So, kind of a bummer for them, but that's just where they're at, and so that's going to continue.
The price of celebrity.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's pick up the next one.
Okay.
So I got here on my side, I got the 3 of Worlds. It's called Nurturing. And then what do you got over there? You got the Sun. Okay, major arcana card, Sun. So what do you think that means?
I feel like there's going to be a lot of brightness in their future.
Oh, okay.
Happiness.
Okay, all right, Sun. Okay. And this one says Nurturing. So
Yeah.
maybe they're going to have a chance to, you know, maybe experience some of that closeness with each other. The Nurturing card, the 3 of Wands, 3 of Worlds, obviously represents nurturing, but it kind of represents that there's going to be a nurturing aspect in the relationship as they move forward here. Maybe, you know, a few months down the road, several months down the road, maybe starting the new year. And so that's kind of a positive thing. And it seems to be, it seems almost like, I get the feeling like maybe this side is more of Jihyo, you know, and this side is more of Daniel. Because the sun represents this brightness and, you know, kind of showing new energy and new vitality. And, you know, maybe as a couple, they're kind of showing that there's the possibility to be K-pop idols and be a couple and kind of show a new way instead of having this like dating scandal. It can just be like dating, right? Instead of a scandal. Why does it have to be a scandal?
Exactly, just dating and love.
Yeah, dating and love. So that's a good thing. But also, this kind of hints that also that maybe there's going to be the need, particularly in Daniel's case, to keep his momentum going as an idol and to perform and create new music and those things. And that might it's going to require a lot of energy for him to do that. And that he might be able to show that he can do that energy while having kind of a relationship that some might think is a distraction, maybe some of the agencies or something. Right?
If he's not careful, he may burn out.
Yeah, so he has to be careful. That's right, he has to be careful because he may burn out because he's trying to keep this relationship going and nurture it, but he's still got to perform and and be an idol.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that might be a little bit of an issue, especially maybe next spring. Let's pick next card.
Okay.
So I got the Moon card, another major arcana card. What do you got there? You've got the Hanged Man. Interesting. So I think I can explain this.
Okay.
So the Moon seems like about a year from now, there's going to be a very reflective period here.
Okay.
Where they're going to be doing a little bit more soul searching, kind of looking more inside of them about what's possible, reflecting on a kind of a deeper feeling, looking inside and trying to sort things out. So it seems like they're trying to figure out, okay, we've been dating for a while, maybe a year. How do we move forward? Because we're both idols, we both have commitments, we're both young. So what do we do with it?
What's the next steps?
Yeah, what's the next steps? How do you move it forward? And this one is called the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man represents, it doesn't mean hanged, but what it represents is suspense or in suspension. So that things are kind of on hold. They kind of can't go farther forward. They have to kind of stay where they are because obviously there's contractual considerations, financial considerations, all the things that they have to deal with. They can't go much farther. It's it's a period of reflection. Okay, well, how do we keep this going when we're in this kind of suspended mode? Kind of suspended animation.
Yep.
So that's where they're going to be, maybe, or that's where the relationship's going to go. And they have to kind of figure out, how do we get past that? It's like any relationship, right?
Yeah, definitely.
After like 6 months or so of a relationship, after
what's the next step? How do we move forward as a couple? How do we grow?
Exactly, because you're past the kind of the honeymoon period and just falling in love with love.
Starts getting real.
Yeah, because you got to pay the bills, do the wash, right? And it's like, what are we willing to sacrifice now to pull it closer, right? So it's kind of a normal thing, but they're going to face it too, maybe a little bit later, because maybe sometime next year or the next year. Anyway, that's what it says for Kang Daniel and Park Jihyo. And if you want to make some comments, please do down below. If you want to like, subscribe.
Please do.
Yeah, hit the bell. Subscribe, all those things. And if you want to know more about Hermione Grinder, please look at the links below in the description. And she's just getting started on her new YouTube channel, so support her there and see her links.
Thank you.
Right. And so I think that's going to be it. So
all right.
Until next time,
wishing you all good fortunes.